So another thing that you had mentioned briefly was how self-storage is recession resistant. Can you expand more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming off a time where a lot of money was printed and a lot of toys were purchased with that money. And so occupancy at self-storage facilities currently is at all-time highs with boats, RVs, and just all sorts of household goods that are being stored there. And I certainly believe there'll be a leveling as we move forward and um, into a recession possibly. Uh, Self-storage is recession resistant because of 4 Ds basically. And those 4 Ds are downsizing, displacement, divorce, and death. And those are all things that increase during a recession. And those are all things that lead to more storage. So downsizing and displacement, for example, if folks are going from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home to maybe a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, or even a 3-bed, 1-bath, they're just going to need more space for self-storage. And studies tell us that those folks just generally aren't going to throw out their personal property, and they view self-storage as a gym membership. Basically, it's $75, $100, $125 per month, and it's almost like an extension of their house or their garage in a sense. And then divorce, that's just one household becoming two, and it's fairly obvious there why one or both of those folks might need storage. And then death, unfortunately. So as people die, they generally leave behind personal property to their loved ones. And those loved ones don't want to throw that property out, but they just don't have space for it. So they'll put that property into storage, or even if they decide to keep the loved one's property in their home, they'll put some of their own property in storage to make room for it. So I think those are the main reasons why self-storage is recession resistant. And I think especially nowadays, inflation's on everybody's mind. And I think self-storage is inflation resistant to an extent as well, because unlike some industrial assets or even residential or multifamily, there aren't 1-2 year leases or 5 or 10 year leases. In some cases, there's month-to-month leases. So on a monthly basis, self-storage operators can assess what their income looks like. They could assess what inflation looks like as compared to their rents. And it's not to say that you're going to raise rents on customers every month. Maybe you do that quarterly if in times like now where inflation is higher than it's been in quite a while. More common to do it every 6 to 9 months, let's say. And then finally on the inflation front too, self-storage facilities operate at a lower expense ratio than nearly any real estate asset, which means that as costs increase across the board for expenses like property taxes, insurance, materials, self-storage is just a little better insulated on that front.